Hello everyone, my name is Moki. Today I just wanted to teach you how Kuroama's way of conditional works. It's complex at the same time easy. Credits, by the way, I'll just chuck this into the start of the video. But please follow Kuroama art. They taught me this technique, and after messing around with it, I found my own derivative of it, and I can't highly thank them enough for this, because this is actually a very useful thing to do for your models, right? But basically, it's two parts, right? You would have the physics, right, set up, and all of that. Then you'll have to set it up again for the tail to be tracked. It's going to be like a three-step process, right? The animation, the physics, and the rigging. So I will teach you slowly and surely how you would approach each and every one. For the first part, right, let's go to an empty file, right? I want to make everything invisible first. I just want to make the tail invisible for this one. But this is your tail, right? So Shift A, select for the parts. I'll just use an automatic mesh generator. Some open parts for it. And gotta fix it up, because sometimes your mesh is fucked up. You want to avoid that, basically. My normal way of doing the tail, right? Setting it up, a bit of cleaning. You gotta use 4 division, so it becomes a little bit more dense. Okay. Check. Use the deform path tool. It's going to be hard because it's a bit of a curved table. Go to modeling, go to skinning, and use deformation path for skinning. Generally, that's how I would normally do my tails for rigging, right? You could approach it any other way, but like this for me is the easiest and by far the most easily controllable way. Gonna take its course. Okay, now on modeling, right? Or I mean on your parameters, you're going to add through 4 parameters, right? I'm gonna scale conditions. You can use this for any type of conditions, frankly, right? But typically I will use it for tails because that's where I'm mostly good at. So let's make more. Scale fast. Set the minimum to -1. 1. Duplicate it. Change it to tail on. Look. Now we're going to have another one. Fast is. I mean, animation, fast anim. I'll use breathing for the other one for the slow, right? And for the other one, now we're going to make another 2 sets of parameters, right? As this is your fast animation, right? Change the minimum for this. 1. Now we're going to add 2 more. And that is at this slow phase. Press Control, turn this on, and use SDK Unity. Okay, basic. I will close this for a bit because this is such a heavy file. Basically, this is how it goes, right? For me, I typically just use 5 seconds. The best one for you to use is 10, right? Drag your CMO file to the timeline, size it, so that it fits your canvas. Hold shift and just drag it so that it goes in. Change the size equally, proportionately. Okay, now it's time for us to do our timeline. Extend your timeline. Go down. Okay. For this one, right? These are your what you call this thing? Switches, right? But for this one, we gotta make the physics first for fast animation. So for this one, one ball, 6, slide it to the right, back to the middle, here, you gotta make it do this several more times. E. Oh, it should be equal. Select everything. Press dope sheet, right? Select everything. Drag. Adjust. Stretch it a little bit. Okay. Done. Okay. Make sure it's on the last frame. Go back to dope sheet. And go to graph editor, select everything again, Control A, and make it all linear. Going back to your CMO file, right? You want to go to your modeling, go to physics, right? This is your tail. Basically, you gotta, what you call this? Remove every of these. Use. Going to add 2 new physics groups. You're going to name them fast anim. We're just going to use okay. So basically, for the fast anim, right, you're going to add 2 things, right? Tail on fast and fast animation. Okay, change both of them to angle, right? Change your angle here from -10. -120 and 120. This is the magic number for which works 100% of the time, right? For me, at least. Now, add your pendulum. Change your shaking. Right click, edit, change it to 0.8. Okay. Now, change this to 25. Pull over, right? You're going to go to scene blending for this one. You gotta make sure that you have open your scene file here, right? It's open, right? So that you can open it. Go to physics and go to scene blending, right? And I want you to add a new playlist, 0. And on that playlist, you're going to click scene 1 and add it to that playlist so that you can see that fast anim is slowly playing here. Okay, now go to output settings. You're going to add your fast physics, right? Okay, play it. And afterwards, a few seconds, increase output. You can see that fast physics is following it, right? I'll pause it. Set the default parameters and go to input settings, change tail on fast to 75, right? Now basically what happens is, right, think of it like this. Tail on fast is adding onto the, what you call this thing? The physics, right? So when it goes left, it basically maxes out the parameter and disables the, what you call this thing? The thing to be detected. It's actually still doing it, but just that it's outside of the parameters range, right? So you do this so that it does not detect it. You're basically canceling it out. That's the conditional parameter here that Kuroama taught me. This was like after he taught this to me, I was like so amazed. I was so amazed because holy moly, that is like very informational, right? It's basically when this is on the middle, it'll turn on, right? But if it's on the side, it'll turn off. So that fast animation is on, okay? Now, you're going to add another one, right? Slow animation. Slow anim, right? Hold it. Okay. You're going to do this, but with a different one. But because I'm so lazy, right? I just use breath and then tail on slow. Okay? Change both of them to angle again. Change this to 120. 120. 20. Oops. 120. Right. Add your pendulum. Change shaking from 0.95 to 0.8. Now go to output settings and add slow fizz. Change tail on breath from 0 to 25. And increase output again. See that slow fizz is on. Now here's where you can do tail on slow again. Crank it all the way to the max, so that when it's maxed again, it's off. But this is where the magic begins, right? So basically, you want fast to happen when you're happy and slow when you're not happy. So you basically just edit tail on fast and change the default from 0, right? 0 to -1. Okay. Okay, 1. This happens only when you're happy. Well, this happens when you're, just normal, right? So going back. This is where you do your things, right? We gotta go to group editing, right? Because this is like already pre-made things. I want you to increase priority, make them all the way to the top, basically. Make them have high priority. Okay. Now on your tail, right? Here's the thing. If your output is lower priority and you're going to use that input for a higher priority, what you call this in physics group, it'll not work. It'll not detect it or anything. Now for this tail, right? We're going to add 3 things, right? We have tail on slow, tail on fast. What you call this? Fast fizz, right? And slow fizz. Afterwards, we're going to add tail on slow. Change fast fizz to position X, change tail on slow to angle, and angle. Change this to 50. Oops. 50. 50. Now, this is what happens, right? Tail is going to be, well, this where's my Now this is what happens. Your tail is now on. This is for slow, right? Now if we turn this off, it'll turn this on again. You gotta, what you call this thing? Where was tail on slow? You gotta reflect this so that this stays in the middle, right? So when it's back in the middle, it's on again. Turn it off. Now it's off. For this one, you gotta go to tail on fast and turn it on. And you gotta turn on the, what you call this thing? This thing first. You can, what you call this thing? You can see it. We gotta fix that now. You gotta decrease output. Okay. You gotta do a little bit of wang jangling. We gotta make this a little bit better. Close it and reopen it so that physics window will have to readjust, right? Now, turn off your slow, turn on your fast again, turn on your thingy here. Make sure it's right, and increase output. Okay, now we gotta fix it. Change 0.8. Okay, I'll take that as for now, right? So this is what happens when it's fast. Turn it off. Turn it on. This is what happens when it's slow, right? Okay. Oh, it's not in the middle. There. There we go. It's now in the middle. Apart from that, that's it. Now we're going to close it. We're going to export it now, right? Go to File, Export for Runtime, and you're going to export as MOV3 file. Wait up, it's going to take a little bit of time for me, so I'm going to pause the vid. And back for a bit, because I also forgot, go to your scene, right? After you're done with this, right? You're just going to use the fast add-in. Go to File. I want you to export this for runtime. Export motion file, right? Okay. And I want you to export the scene to your, what you call this thing, your VTube Studio settings, or you can just export it, copy, and paste it into the folders, because this is important, right? This is tail. Save. Done. Done. Basically, right? Now this is the tracking. You've exported both the motion file and the MOV3 file. So now it's on VTube Studio, right? Like the model open folder. If your folder is already here, ready to go with the motion file in it. So, okay. First, go to your settings. Fix some things first, right? Go to the parameter tab. Go to idle animation. Go to the idle animation. Select your tail wag change. I'm smiling, but it's not seen right now. However, let's make a change to that. Scroll down to the bottommost part. Add 2 toggles, right? Gotta name this. It's on. Oops. It's on. It's off. Okay. On, fast on. You just got both. For both of these, select now smile. Select. On your output, you gotta select the tail on fast, and tail on slow. Okay. First, change the. You gotta limit both of the ranges, and I want you on the. Call this thing. This is the fast on fast, right? Tail on fast. Select. I want to change the smoothing to 2. I want you to change the in from 0. First, change the max here from 1 to 0. Then I want you to change the 0 here. 0.8. Same, and change this to. You know what? This might be still too sensitive. 0.85. This to. So when I smile, selecting it. Now, change it to 0.3. And I want you to set this from -1 to 0. And do the same thing, right? 0.85. 0.5. So when you smile, you're disabling your. It's very clunky though for some parts. It's basically track your mouth smile with its track your mouth tracking and all of that. I've just basically increased the in so that it only happens when you're really, really smiling. Like, frowning, smiling, frowning, smiling. And that's it. That's how you would do the tracking and all of that. I will leave the fine-tuning to all of you guys, and I just hope y'all have fun. For example, you can do this for a lot more other models, right? The main one you saw, right, it's from my Melly model. It's quite a big file, so it loads for a bit. So when I track my tail, right, when I smile, it changes to a fast rhythm, rounding, or like just talking normally, right? It's very slow and all of that. Sometimes the tracking would be whack though, like my mouth would be instantly happy like that, but this technique has its caveats, but overall it's a good kind of caveat in the end. And then you have my other one. You can also use this for your wings, right? And you can do this to your own wings, right? So yeah, I hope everyone has a good time with this technique from Kuroama. Thank you very much, Kuro, for teaching me, and I hope everyone has a fun time using their technique too. Bye!